One. Hello, everyone. Every time I wait, I remember that there's that thing called the millennial pause. And I'm like, I definitely do that. I don't know what Gen Z does. I don't really watch their videos, but I do know that there's a thing called a millennial pause that we like wait for a second. Anyway, hi, everyone.
I'm like, what? I was like, you mean that pause for the Zoom recorder to be like, recording has started. And then
Exactly.
oh, okay. And then we start.
Yeah, I guess
Hi,
they go right
everyone.
into it.
Hi,
Well,
everyone. Happy Sunday shift.
as you can tell, we're back. Thanks for rocking with us. Make sure to like, share,
Yes.
subscribe. You can always buy us a coffee. That's in the description. We want to thank Kat, Andrina, and Janice for your continued and loving support. Um, we've been gone. How you been
Yeah.
doing?
So thank you all for sticking with us, even though we've kind of been a little bit on a break, and it's partly due because of me. I have moved into a different apartment and I did it kind of all by myself, except for hiring some professionals to move heavier items. And so it's taken me a while and I've been exhausted almost every night for the past almost 2 weeks, except for this weekend. And so thank you all for your patience while we go through that. But so I'm just trying to get used to my new place, and it's been great. This is the first weekend I've had that I didn't have to work or go out or actually move. And so I've been
Mhm.
just enjoying my new apartment, and it's been nice. Television wise, um, I just started watching Abbott Elementary
Wait, you've
finally.
never watched Abbott?
I had never watched
Oh, what a
Abbott.
treat! What a
And so
treat!
I'm on season 2, episode 8. Um, God, I just started becoming addicted to the charter school song. I forgot what it's called, like Paradise or something like that.
Yes.
I'm just like singing it. Um,
I wish
but
I could experience Abbott again for the first time.
yeah, it's so great, and especially given what's happening in this country.
Well,
Um, and so um, yeah, it's just been great to be able to chill in my apartment and watch television shows. I also watched SNL's 50 in Music, which was kind of hilarious and actually enlightening about some of the controversial stuff that they had to endure that I didn't realize actually happened.
I saw that
So
was on
yeah,
Peacock. I didn't watch it though.
yeah. And did I watch the Super Bowl? No. Did I watch the halftime show? Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I've been watching it almost for 3 weeks or 2 weeks or every day. I did the shuffle on the way to my computer. If the soundtrack is in my head all the time.
I
Um,
am Good Kid, Mad City is like one of my favorite like albums. Like not my favorite
uh,
Kendrick album, one of my favorite albums of
right.
all time.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like I'm like so jealous of all the people who get to or like of you of getting to experience Abbott from the beginning. I'm so
Hmm.
jealous of people who like weren't really tapped into Kendrick, who get
Hmm.
to experience Good Kid, Mad City for the first time as a full body of work. I was like watching. There's a song on there called "Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst." It's a long song, but it's like excellent storytelling, which Good Kid, Mad City is a excellent storytelling album. And
Hmm.
I watched this like, young man. Um, I'm kind of addicted to YouTube reactions. And he was like, the whole time, he's like, I really hate Kendrick's voice. I never gave him a chance. And then, like, he's listening to Sing About Me and he's like crying. And I'm like crying. I'm like, oh my God. So, yeah, I mean,
No.
I'm just very
I
jealous of all the people who get to experience him for the first time.
so my musical taste runs along R&B, jazz,
Hmm.
classical. I do like hip hop. Obviously I grew up in the 90s, so 90s hip hop. was the thing for me. And then if I listen to hip hop, I'm going back to the 90s. I'm going back to
Hmm.
Tupac. I'm going back to Biggie. I'm going back to Bay Area hip hop. But
Rest in peace,
you
Mecca.
know, right, Tupac, all them. So I just like when, Kendrick was just on the Super Bowl and it was huge. Well, actually, even before that, when They're Not Like Us came out, everybody was just like, it's amazing. And so to see him play it at the Super Bowl was amazing. And so it's just been in my head for the past, it's a good cleanup song.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm going to see him in SZA in St. Louis.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
And I appreciate, Mustard's beat, like that, the wind and the horns just I was just like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it when real instruments are used. I don't know if you actually use real instruments, but when I hear real instruments in music, I get excited, even if the song I don't understand it. I just like the music.
Yeah. No, it
So
is.
I'm a
It's
weirdo.
definitely a lot of Cali love.
Hmm.
Part of the reason I like Mustard is because like he's obviously from LA, but I like the way his beats feel um,
Hmm.
Bay Area, and I'm really excited
Yeah.
to get home to the Bay. I've been, as you can tell, I'm still on the road, and
Mm.
so I'm back March
Oh yeah.
1st. I'm
Oakland
back
is
March
like
1st.
Oakland's kind of like hot, right? Oakland and the Bay Area is hot right now because I guess the NBA All-Star games are happening. Again, I'm not a
Hmm.
sports person, so I haven't watched the games, but everybody um has been going to the games and seeing all these celebrities, these sports
Hmm.
celebrities and stuff, and having parties and stuff. So everyone's, out and about doing their thing in Oakland. I'm still chilling in my apartment because that's what I do. I'm a
Right.
weirdo. So, yeah. So,
Well.
yeah.
Well, let's hop into the show. We're going to try best we can to keep it on this week. Also, if you didn't check it out, I'll make sure. I don't know how to leave it up here, but I'll leave it. It'll be like the video at the end. If you're watching
Hmm.
on YouTube, I did a reaction to the GH cast being on Jennifer Hudson. So I was able to like watch
Hmm.
it, kind of stop it, talk about it, and
Yeah,
really enjoyed it. I was like, I love seeing our cast like out here doing stuff. So
I liked it. Yeah.
yeah. Who was your performer of the week?
Um, this week I have to give it up to Maurice Bernard, Maura West, and Recurse. I love that scene of Sonny going in and negotiating 50% custody with Ava
Mm,
for different reasons. Like one, I mean, even though
it's time. God.
I mean, it's about time. I'm like, oh, I was over the custody battle. But I like the dynamic of, again, Ricking and just always trying to one up Sunny.
Hmm.
Sunny, being like it's an interesting mix of him kind of wrestling with his mortality and recognizing that's, he needs to be better for Avery. And then Ava, actually changing, not because of what she of actually trying to be better, but also learning that she wants to be a better mother, but also learning from Rick. I think those performances were really it was great. And I think it was the best for me this week. Uh,
Hmm.
I liked it. Um yeah.
Yeah.
I
Um,
think that's all I got. I mean,
yeah.
they're
They were
always
great.
awesome. They're
Yeah.
always wonderful. And so we'll talk more about those scenes, but for me, though, yeah, for me,
Yeah. I
Jane
love,
Elliott as well.
that's what I was
Sorry.
going to say. I love Jane
Yeah,
Elliott. My
yeah.
favorite was her like laugh when Alexis brought up her like framing her for drunk driving. She was like, "Oh yeah, I did do that." It's like they give Tracy these things that anybody in anybody else's hands would not be good,
Right.
but Jane Elliott makes them amazing. Um,
Mm,
so yeah, it was Jane for me this week. I love her.
yeah, always.
Um, let's talk about let's start with the Milo divorce drama. let's just start there. So this week we find out, like from the meeting with Martin, that Willow is like just wants a divorce. Like she wants to be happy to go live her life with Drew, and that's it. Um, Carly and Nina are going to team up to do something. I'm not really clear what it is that they're going to do.
Right.
And Martin hired a PI that we all know, with a little dog to dig up dirt on Michael. Um, all of that is happening. How are you seeing all of this come together?
Okay, first, I want to go back and talk about Nina and Carly. Um,
Okay.
I was surprised that Nina copped to being wrong
Mm,
in her interactions with Sonny and Carly. I didn't think that
yeah,
would ever happen, and it
right.
did. And so
Hmm.
I actually appreciated that a lot. Um, but it doesn't seem like Nina's still learning her lesson because she still won't tell Willow about Drew.
Right.
And I don't think anything will change for Willow about Drew until she knows the whole truth. That's why I'm like, when she told Martin that she just wants a divorce and be with Drew, I'm like, you're still running off of not full information. If you knew everything that Drew was doing, like you don't know that he is cavorting with some really potentially evil people right now. You don't know that he's doing everything he can to take down Sonny and Michael and Jason. You don't know that he that slept with your mom. You don't know all these things. You just know the hero that he's presenting himself to you as. And so Willow, I still think Willow is acting very naive and very foolish, and you even haven't had a conversation with Michael. You're just still infatuated with this man who seems to be rescuing you right now. And
Mm.
so I don't, I still wish that Willow and Michael had a chance to have a conversation. But I think Willow, once she gets all the full facts, she might change her mind, or she's going to continue to be this stupid little girl. I don't know. Either way, if she had the information, I would feel better about moving on in terms of Michael and Willow. Um,
Well,
so so yeah, I mean, as far as the really, I just I can see it ending, and I see it needs to end, but I can't get it's not closure for me
mm,
until she has all the information. Um,
mm.
even all the information that actually Willow and Sasha are having a baby. I think Michael and Sasha are having a baby. I think she still needs to know that too. But so I don't know. But Carly and Nina getting
Well,
together.
let me pause there because I want to
Yeah,
talk about that. I want to talk about that.
yeah,
So I have found Willow even more unlikable this week than I've
yeah.
found her in previous weeks.
Right.
What she has in common with Nina, to be very honest, is this like, and Drew has it too, which is this
Hmm.
like not understanding why people are mad at you, like doing something that's really foul. Because the reality is like, every, not just on a soap. It's not just like, oh, it's a soap. Everybody in life does foul stuff.
Hmm.
It's like the follow up to it. What does it mean after it? And I've been saying this about Willow and Drew anyway. It was how aggressively Drew was going after Willow. It was how just like creepy and skeevy it was. It wasn't like, oh, they happened to get like locked somewhere, or if you I think back to like a Courtney and Nicholas, right? Like
Hmm.
that courtship, if people watch back then. First of all, I never liked Courtney, but I had to admit Courtney and Nicholas had crazy chemistry. And you had the points where they were like kind of trying to stay away from each other, but everything was pulling them together. And so that made that relationship look and feel really different than what we saw with Drew and Willow. And
Hmm.
so then Willow is now like, well, everybody hates me and now people think I'm a bad person. You're not a bad person because you cheated. You're a
Yeah.
bad person for everything that you've done after that. You're a bad person for every decision that you made from going up to Michael when you saw the tape and like blaming him to trying to take his kids without him knowing. Like these are the decisions that made it so contentious with the two of y'all.
And for
Michael,
me, sleeping with you know with Drew in Michael's house with his grandmother's ring on your finger, just
crazy.
disrespectful. Taking your child to DC
Right.
without talking to Michael, disrespectful. So you're right. All the actions after the fact that have been just mad disrespectful.
And then pretending as if people were wrong for being mad or like judging you. Like
Mm-hmm.
people are judging that you literally, like Michael is in a burn unit recovering and you are with his uncle in the house. That is why people are judging you. Like people who you thought were family are mad at you because you continue to make foul decisions. Because the reason that Michael even went aggressive with you is because of the things that you did after the cheating. It was that you decided to take his children, try in a dead of night on Nina's request. It was that you then took Wiley. It was that y'all you weren't spending holidays. That you got these kids all around him, and now you're like, oh, I'm just gonna tell the kids. I'm not gonna lie to them about my feelings. So you think that your children, as they grow up, are gonna be like, my dad's in a burn unit, and my mom's with my uncle. My mom's the good person. That's like my thing with her. It's not just that you did it. It's that you're like, people shouldn't judge me. Sasha's judging me. Yeah. Yes. And then she tried to like create that wedge between Sasha and Nina.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be really, really clear. As much as I was annoyed by it, Sasha never judged Nina. Their relationship started a certain way with a lie. Willow, you started off with lies too. Your name ain't even Willow, to be clear. Like there was all these lies. They got to a good place, and then Sasha literally never judged Nina. She was always part of Nina's village when Nina came home. Like, and Willow, you weren't messing with Nina until you could use her and nobody else was talking to you. And now you're trying to drive a wedge. So I just found her to be completely unlikable this week and silly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but back to, Carly and Nina.
Hmm.
Um, I actually, so I was surprised that Nina topped to being wrong.
Me
And
too.
then I was actually a little annoyed at Lucas trying to talk Carly out of being Carly because I still feel like Drew has not gotten the revenge that he needs. Like he hasn't gotten the yelling, he hasn't gotten any of the bad comeuppance that he needs to have. He's still running around town acting like he's the shit and he's superior to everybody. And I want Carly, I want everybody to go off on him. But he hasn't had it enough. And so yeah, I want Carly to engage in bad behavior and just like take him down. And so
Hmm.
when, Lucas was like, "Oh, you shouldn't work with Nina," and blah blah blah. I was like, this is the partnership I'm waiting to see happen. I want them both to take this man down. And so I was a little annoyed at Lucas and I was really scared that Carly would actually listen to his advice. But then Nina changed her mind, was like, "Do you want him to take those children into his house?" And then she was
Hmm.
like, "Oh, hell no, that's not going to happen." And
Right.
so, um, I'm actually looking forward, even though it doesn't actually sound like Nina has a plan at all.
No.
I'm still hoping that they do come up with something good to bring this man down. I hope it's huge. And I also hope it happens before, apparently, everyone's saying that he's about to get shot and is about to be a murder mystery. I don't know. Whatever happens, it needs to happen before that happens. Because I don't want him
Mm.
to just die and actually feel the repercussions of his behavior. So
I don't think they're killing Drew. That's
okay.
first. I mean, I don't know. I have no
You
inside
never know
information.
what you never know what
None.
Jews.
Um, I will say that I think the other, like, again, I don't understand what Carly and Nina are going to be doing together. I thought it was
Okay.
interesting to have her, like, kind of take the responsibility for her behavior with Sonny. I don't
Mhm.
know. Part of it, like, feels like too little too late. Like, I'm kind of over it. I feel like most people are over it. Um, I think that it's like the writer's way of like trying to continue to reframe Nina and make her more likable. I I don't like Nina, but sure, I guess.
Right.
Um, but yeah, because I feel like who was it for? Like Nina fans are like mad. They're like, oh, because they have been like hanging on to like that she wasn't wrong, and all of a sudden now years later she has to say she's wrong. Um, so whatever. But I also think I wish that the plan would be like, well, he's being shady around business. He's being this, he's being that. Like, I don't understand what the plan is. And I find it to be like really weird that now Nina's trying to get this dirt on Michael while she's working with Carly.
Yeah.
And that Nina, you still are holding the big Joker, but you're not letting it go. And I after the scenes, I could kind of understand why Nina didn't say anything.
Mhm.
But this man is like lying and pushing up on your daughter, and you could stop it.
At any time.
You
Um,
know?
yeah, I mean, I feel like all of these things that Nina's trying to do to get rid of Drew again is unnecessary. All she has to do is tell her daughter the truth.
Hmm.
And then if that doesn't work,
Right.
then you can bring out the big guns. Um, but she's not willing to do that. So again, Nina has not learned anything. And I honestly think she's not necessarily really sorry about what happened with Sunny. I think she apologized because she knew she would have to if she was going to
Yes.
get Carly to listen to her.
Yes.
So I don't think she's actually that remorseful at all. Um, so we'll see what happens with that. And in terms of, I don't like, yeah, you may be right because I mean, it looks like, Drew's gonna, is making plans to stay in Port Charles, even though he's a congressperson. We have not seen him go to Congress yet.
No.
Um,
But the thing about it
given
is, the
what,
other part is he has to live in Port Charles. Like it's clear that they haven't done like any research on how Congress works. You have to live in your district. So you would have a
right.
house in Port Charles. It could be an
Yeah.
apartment, it could be a little bit of nothing.
Yeah,
But you have to have something there, and then you also will have like a small place in DC. He can't just move to DC and not live in Port Charles or represent Port
that's
Charles.
true. Yeah. But the majority of his time when Congress is in session is to
Should be in
be in
DC.
DC, right? Like, from what I know, our Congresswoman actually only came to town on the weekends, if at that, when Congress was in session. So he being around town almost every day is weird. But, you know,
Well, our
uh,
congressperson has to like trek across the
across
country.
the country.
Drew
Yeah.
Drew can take a helicopter or whatever it is. But yeah, no, he should be gone. I do wonder if
He
maybe
should be
that's
at
why we
work.
didn't. Yeah, I wonder if that's why we haven't didn't see him last week, or I think maybe the week before, but we didn't. We definitely didn't see him last week. Um,
Uh,
he's like, and now he's like using his business to be shady, trying to use Aurora. I don't want to see any more insider trading kind of business type deals with like Nina and Carly, to be quite honest. But it's the
right.
thing that makes the most sense because what are you going to find out by putting a camera in his house?
Right. Nothing really.
It was also weird
Especially,
to me. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say no one's living there right now.
No. It was also weird to me that Martin was like, "Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Like y'all could be public in your relationship." I think it does matter, actually.
She's
Like, I
still
think
not.
that that does matter. She's
Yeah,
still
she's still not.
married.
Yeah, she's still married. I mean, how could that not matter? Or maybe they're thinking because, Elon Musk has like 14 babies.
Oh
Whatever.
God.
Whatever
Yuck.
he wants. Um, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know, but it just felt weird to me. Um, so I guess we'll keep looking at that team up, particularly because it made me really think about it when Sonny and
Mhm.
Nina were talking, and Sonny was kind of like, "Yeah, basically, like you cool with all my ops." Like,
Yeah,
and I
he's like,
and I was like, Sonny, Nina's always been this way. To be quite honest, it's very funny that you're seeing it now because the only idiot who liked her before was Christina.
uh, yeah.
And it's funny to me that all Christina did was like go up for Nina. Like I will say this is random. I will say that I have found the show to be more watchable in the past couple of weeks, but I also still feel like the connections are not being made. Like Christina should have some feelings about Ava and Nina being besties again because Christina was the person who went up for Nina the most.
Hmm.
Like, where is that connection? We're not seeing it. But anyway, anyhow, we'll see how that pans out. You brought this up, but the Sasha baby secret. Ooh, I want to know how you felt about Cody last week.
Tweeted in the middle of the night, so nobody saw it. But I was like, this is the man that I hate the most on any show. I hated him before I hated Drew. I hated it, and I still do. I like, oh my
Mhm.
God. It's almost every single person he saw, he had to go and tell Sasha's having a baby. Sasha's doing this. So I'm like, dude, really?
Mind your business.
Mind your business and just be talking smack about Jason. Jason had the utmost patience for this man. Like what the way he came at Cyrus was how I wish he came at Cody, and I wish he would have came through. Just like, dude, when they were in that restaurant and Cody was like, just man up, and he didn't say that, but he's like, just tell the truth. You're the father of
For
Sasha's
once in your
baby
life,
for once
what are
in
you
your
talking
life. I'm
about?
like, you barely know this man. How you gonna come at you? Do you know that he kills people for a living? And you're going up to talking smack to him like this? Oh man, I wanted Jason to just smack him so hard the way he did Drew. And I still don't, there's still like no redeeming, none. He has not been remorseful at all. I'm like, he needs to go. Yeah, I tweeted about him that day.
That's so funny.
I
Yeah, I
took a
didn't see
break
it.
from I took a break from my moving just so I could tweet that I hate this man.
Um, I was so put off by him.
Right?
The behavior was so, the like, the like, oh, you and Sasha were in love. Why do y'all keep leading into this kissing cousin stuff? Unless he's not gonna be Max or whatever it is, we don't
Yeah,
need to continue to talk about the relationship him and Sasha had. It's disgusting. We don't need it.
right.
And to have him basically like throwing a fit because he apparently like still has feelings for her, I don't know. It's gross and I don't want it. No, thank
Right.
you.
Mm.
Um, of all the things that y'all choose to continue to follow through on, like these kissing cousin feelings. No, stop. Um, I will also say that, yeah, I felt like him telling everybody about Jason. What's wrong with you? Who do you think you are?
Exactly.
It just I and I it also was like one of those things for me personally that's like you know who Jason is. You know he's a hitman. You know that Sonny's apartment or like apartment just got blown up. So why would you not make a connection that maybe Sasha wouldn't want people to know that Jason was the father of her kid because he's in the mob? Like you are putting her and her child in danger. Maybe like Sasha is not a person who something happened to. You know what I mean? Like you, and so even like with that being said, part of the reason Sasha didn't want Michael in the kid's life was for the same reason.
Mhm.
But now everybody's going to think the baby is Jason's. It's just a mess. I'm not. I'm also like
It's
Felicia.
very
We do not need you in this mediation position. Please go find something else to do.
exactly like you know, your husband's son is trash, and you don't need he he's horrible. We don't need anyone caping for him. Nah,
No.
he needs to go. Yeah, I don't. I appreciate that Jason wanted to make sure that Danny knew
Yes.
um, that this was not true.
Yes.
So, and I appreciate that he didn't like he made Sasha also be there to tell because this was
Hmm.
Sasha's ass. And so, you know, so I that's the only part that I appreciated out of the whole thing. Um, I'm hoping that they don't do anything more to put Jason and Sasha together.
Me
I don't
too. I
want
don't
them
want
to be
that.
together. And we know that Steve Burton don't want that either. So let's hope that that's not the case. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I need Alan's sons to stay away from Michael's exes. Like, what are we doing? I've had enough. Um, Yeah, I loved Danny this week. We'll get more into it, but when Jason was like talking to him and he was like, "Wait, you're not the father, are you?" And he was like, "No." And he was like, "Thank God."
God, right? For real. Like everybody.
I laughed so hard. Um, yeah, I loved me some Danny this week. My
Yeah.
Jason baby was showing out. Yeah, that's it. So let's talk about another baby thing, and then we'll circle back to all things Cyrus. But so we alluded to this earlier. This was like your performance of the week. We got Sonny and Ava in their custody fight. So we have Christina out with the kids after Jocelyn had them at Bobby's. I was gonna say Charlie's, but Bobby's. And what was interesting is I remember seeing Ava looking real weird, and I was like, "Why is she acting like this?" So I didn't realize that she knew that the kids were coming. I'm also not really clear about what the current custody arrangement is because what's going on. But anyway, she gets into it with Christina because she's about to take Avery back to her apartment. Um, Liz and Rick stop it after Sonny realizes his heart is doing what his heart is doing. He got like a 3 month expiration date on the heart. I don't know. And he talks to Nina. He realizes that this custody, like that we're all exhausted from this custody battle, and he should just do 50-50 with Ava. Finally. Over it. Over it. How long are we going to fight over Avery?
Yes, I'm glad that it's over and it's done and decided. And like I said, I appreciate what I loved about the scene was, you know, Sunny going in and just kind of being like, I don't want my daughter to have to go through, you know, a psych interview or anything like that, or having to testify. And even though he was willing to compromise, he's like, I'm gonna give you an offer, even though you're gonna, and if you don't take it, you're gonna lose. Like, actually, no, Ava's probably going to win because your house got blown up. But you know, you go in with that bluster, dude. And he was like, yeah, and I'll offer you 60-40, sir, but they ended up compromising. I really appreciate it. And Ava, you know, really thinking about her daughter, even though, you know, Rick was trying to bust up in there. She was like, Rick, Please. I'm
Right,
trying to, and I was just like, yeah, Ava, stand up for yourself. That's one of the things I really appreciate about Ava and Rick's relationship. They are not changing who they are fundamentally to be with each other.
right.
They are who they are, and they're really
Facts.
honest with each other, and they still find each other hella attractive. That's what I love about that relationship. She did not back down and try to have and Rick try to railroad her into something that she knew was not good for her daughter. I really appreciated that. And I still, Rick being Rick was perfect. I liked him being in Sonny's face, needling him. I liked that. So I liked that scene overall. It was really great. Not even though they came to a compromise, none of them really gave up who they were in order to come to
Hmm.
that agreement. So I appreciated that.
Yeah. I mean, I had to remember why they were fighting in the first place. And like what also the agreement was because
Right.
like how does Lucky know Ava? Like what are we I was like, what are we talking about here? But I had completely forgotten about Ava and Sunny's meds.
Yeah,
I
me
completely
too.
forgot. I was like, oh yeah,
Yes.
that's why the issue was what the issue was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I think that the show just wanted drama for the sake of drama, but like y'all got to figure out some drama that's not just custody battles. You know,
Mhm.
like enough. So like some of these characters have been in and out of court. Avery was about to be the new Michael. How much do we have to fight over one kid? Enough. So I'm glad that happened. I'm glad they figured that out. Tired of Christina as always. And I also I like Ava and Rick. I don't like some implication that Rick is still like holding some kind of torch for Elizabeth. First of all, I'm an LNL2 fan, so like back up Rick. But also I also don't need I don't need it to feel like Ava's some kind of consolation for Rick. Like my girl's a baddie, okay? As much as I be mad at Ava sometimes, but my girl's a baddie. She is nobody's backup, and she is certainly not like the backup to Elizabeth Weber. I'm sorry, Elizabeth Baldwin. So I'm still keeping my eye on that. Rick, I'm seeing you bringing her flowers and stuff. Guess what? We're dancing over here, sir. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But I again so happy to get this custody case closed. Please do not let this be a pump fake. Please let this be over.
Yeah. And yeah, again, glad that Sonny was just like, you know what, Christina, we have a difference of opinion. I'm doing what's best for my daughter. Because Christina was ridiculous. Ava
Oh my
was,
god.
yes, Ava was trying to take her daughter, but she was not kidnapping Avery. Avery wanted to go.
Well, legally it's kidnapping because she has to have custody.
No, but technically, Sunny didn't have custody either. They had some sort of agreement, like Sunny
Sonny
keeping
has been
Ava.
having custody though.
Oh wait, did he challenge for custody though after the?
If he didn't have custody, then they wouldn't be having a custody fight. Like there would be some sort of injunction. Rick would have taken something for like. There's no way that because they even said like how bad it would have been for Ava to take Avery.
But remember, she was saying in their discussion about the 50-50 that Sunny was trampling over the custody agreement by not letting her have access to Avery at all. She said that in the conversation. So they didn't actually have what they had was it wasn't a legal agreement. It was just something that they agreed to
Mm.
that she would
This is
allow.
how it's so stupid.
Yeah. That's why it's like weird. Like
Yeah.
they have managed to avoid going to court over that child all through these years. Um,
Yeah, I thought that Sonny had like full custody and then he fake died and then he came back, and then got it back and then
yeah,
weirdness. It don't even matter. Hopefully it's over. I'm really hoping they don't pump face fake us next week or any other
right.
week. Let's just let this be done.
And keep Christina out of it,
Oh my
most
God.
definitely.
Tired of her. Keep her out of everything. Um, So I love that Sasha, that Tara calls Sidwell White East African warlord. So we have Jordan, who is like supposedly like undercover, kind of working with him, or working to like try to take him down in some sort of way. And we have him like maybe somehow Curtis is involved. It's interesting that we're really having all of these like Jordan and Curtis scenes, and we ain't really seen Curtis with Portia. Stay away from her. I'm trying to see these beautiful people, aka Jordan and attractive biracial doctor, together. That's what I want to see. And
Right.
you know what else? Kate Mancy, rein that shit in. Okay? I saw a little sparkle you tried to throw his way. No.
I
No,
mean,
absolutely not.
unfortunately, Isaiah has chemistry with everybody.
Everybody. Even Lucas. I was like,
Right.
huh.
So I think he needs to tamp it down, or at least the writers need to stop having him mixing up with everybody.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know how much more of the show I'm gonna be able to watch if they give Isaiah to Christina.
Ooh.
I'm not
Can we go
interested.
back? Can we go back to why I hate another reason why I hate Cody? Because TJ is not on our screen anymore. That's another reason. They have sidelined a black man for this character, and I can't. And you know, TJ has gotten some really great scenes, and we've been wanting him to be free of Molly anyway, but that doesn't mean we want him to not be on our screen. We want him to be on the screen holding around with everybody else.
But we have Molly and Cody on the docket, so we can move them up and talk about them now.
Okay, yeah.
Let me make my
Uh,
notes.
I'm okay with Molly and Cody again. I don't care about them. Actually, I actually feel bad because the actress Kristen Vaganos deserves better. But what I really hate about it is that again, we are not seeing TJ. He's being sidelined. And I think that's horrible. He
We
needs
haven't
to
seen
have
TJ in
that.
weeks.
We haven't seen him in weeks. We need to see him paired up with somebody. Have him have a front burner story. And, you know, I don't give a damn about Cody at all. He needs to go away.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean,
That's the only opinion I have on it, really.
I think that it's crazy that they basically used TJ for his sperm and then dismissed him. He didn't really even get to grieve the baby. He didn't get to do any of that. And even when Molly was in the hospital, it was like running around and acting funny. I thought that it was going to be because she didn't want to run into TJ. She didn't even
Hmm.
mention him like at all. That was nuts
Right.
to me that this is your ex, whatever. It was all about whatever. And so this, them getting stuck together on the roof and that trope or whatever, I I find Cody to be deeply unlikable. I did not care for him and Sasha before they became kissing cousins. But I understood what they were doing, like giving him this like arc where he was able to be the hero and turn his life around, whatever. Like, and they did so much heavy lifting. They even had little baby Leo up in there putting this man on his shoulders. They had baby James in there propping this man. Like they had all of these people, Mac, Felicia, Maxie, just everybody propping this character to make him somewhat watchable. And the moment you stop doing that, he becomes unwatchable again. And
Hmm.
so, because of how he started, as a character and the ways in which he was unlikable and only watchable when he was like trying to be heroic for Sasha. Having him be in this like kind of frenemies to lovers with Molly doesn't work for me personally because I don't want to see it because I don't like him. He is not likable. And Molly, and we'll talk about this with Trina, Molly does not need saving. I'm not interested in Cody like playing that role. And that role is the only thing that like makes him remotely watchable. Because other than that, he's just a screw up. And we've had Molly be all of these things her whole life, and then she's gonna get with somebody like Cody for what? Just I wasn't interested at all.
I'm not anything. Period. Get rid of the man.
Yep. Well, speaking of Sidwell, aka White East African Warlord, we do have confirmation that he is homophobic Maria Santos's ex-husband. Now, I don't know. I'm guessing that also means he's Blaze's father. We haven't gotten that confirmation. Um, I thought the scene in Deception was interesting. Like, I normally am either neutral or to like pretty much like Brooklyn. I found her to be very annoying. And I'm normally like below neutral to disliking of Lulu. And I really understood Lulu in the moment when she was like,
Hmm.
I wish you would have waited. Um, BLQ, you would have never, ever, ever waited for somebody who did anything like that to one of the quarterbacks. And you think
Right.
that Lulu is supposed to not say something about the man who held her brother captive?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. The fact
Also,
that, you know,
why does deception need money? Isn't Sunny like some sort of angel investor?
yeah, they try to make up something about, oh, there's some product that we need for our next, launch that is rare and really, 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 really expensive. Apparently so expensive that Sunny can't afford it. So now they need another investor in their company so that can put out this product. And for some reason, Lucy, I guess Lucy's always been hecka sketchy, but Lucy is now like, this is the investor. This is the person that we need in Port Charles to be our savior.
Crazy.
So whatever. They're
Yeah,
really trying to integrate Sidwell into Port Charles society, which is fine. But he, making him more acceptable, I guess, than Sunny is just, is weird. The fact that all of these monsters get a bypass in Port Charles is crazy. But him, well, we don't even know, but we think he blew up Sunny's penthouse. He kidnapped Sasha. He
hmm,
kidnapped Lucky and held him hostage and Isaiah, and yet he's getting a pass.
because he did it in another country. So
He did it in another country,
what happens in East Africa stays in East Africa.
I guess.
He is the East African Elon Musk.
For real.
um,
Hmm.
so I personally am heartbroken that we no longer have Jack Brennan of my dreams.
Oh my
Um,
God.
we lost
I am,
Charles,
Ooh, I am so heartbroken. You know
and
why?
now
Not
hmm,
only because he's fine as
I don't know if I'll
hell.
do it. Okay,
He's all right. Yeah. He had like it wasn't just his accent. It was like his voice was almost like melodic. He had like ups and downs in the way he talked. It was just, I'm sad.
he had what the kids like to call aura.
He had swag. I'm old. I'm old. I don't care.
um, and Yeah, it wasn't just the accent. I mean, that actor is like known to be that way because if anybody's a Desperate Housewives fan, he came onto
Mm.
Desperate Housewives and he was supposed to be like a bad guy, but he had such crazy chemistry with Vanessa Williams that they like turned him around and they got married like at the end. So he is that guy. He is the person that you build a character around. Jack Brennan was never like, I mean, he tried to like zip tie Carly and do all these things. He was never, it was always like trying to figure out where he was going to go. But the actor was so, you know, just like everything. And like he had so much great chemistry with Laura Wright that she was like, okay, well, I'm going to follow you with it. And this actor doesn't have that, just like
Unfortunately.
nothing that made him interesting, nothing that made him and Carly interesting, is there. And so it was interesting to have Maxie like bring up Frisco. Don't bring up that bum. His name Maxie's daddy. Mac is
Ah,
Maxie's daddy. Um, yeah, it was like it, and then to have Lucas be like so overly involved and invested. I I I I don't know what's gonna happen with them. I know that they have like some events scheduled in like April, like some Zoom events. So I guess they're really trying to like build this. Um, I'm guessing the out is gonna be when Carly finds out he tried to make Jocelyn a spy.
yeah, whatever it is, it's weird. Unfortunately. I mean, I we were all so excited about this pairing, and now it's just like, mm,
Yeah, it falls flat.
it does, unfortunately. Sorry,
Yeah,
Laura, right?
I'm so sorry. I mean, look, after the Jennifer Hudson show and all, I'm like, are they just gonna put Carson back together? I'm not particularly a Carson fan. I like them in their like comfortable era. I think that Carson is like an interesting for me kind of pairing. People, I think I've seen people be like, they don't really have chemistry. They don't have whatever. They don't have like a fire of a chemistry to me. They have a comfortable chemistry to me. They have like a
Right.
lived in like we're besties who happen to be married chemistry. Um,
Hmm.
so, for some people that's not enough. It's fine for me. And it also like you don't have to start trying to generate so much fake story when they're together. You just have the unholy trio story and
I'll only accept it if they stop dyeing Maurice's hair. The only way that I will accept Carly going back. I cannot have Carly going with somebody with horrible hair. I can't. It's not, I can't. It's
Yeah,
not gonna work.
I get that. Um, so let's talk all things Mr. Cyrus for no. So things are closing in on Cyrus. Everybody like he is hearing from people that people suspect him of killing Sam. Jocelyn like pulls back and like tries to trick him into believing that she doesn't think that. Um, but now Anna and Chase know that Jocelyn tried to sneak into his apartment. Then we got him knowing that Elizabeth pulled his like file, but Elizabeth doesn't know. Um, and then we have Danny, like the true Jason baby he is, running up on him like, I just want to talk.
What? I have a question. What was the
Hmm.
significance of the flower in the Bible? I didn't get it. I
I
know
don't know either.
he thinks that Elizabeth moved. Was it move? Was it like, I don't
I
understand.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was moved, and I think he thinks Elizabeth's been in his room.
Okay. Because I'm like, why do they keep going back to that little flower thing?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, something is going, and there's all kinds of theories going around, like he's being framed, but he wasn't being framed. We saw him actually stab Dex. We saw him go in and, give a needle of whatever to Sam. So he did these things.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to them actually caring about what happened to poor Austin. Years
Finally.
later, somebody's actually caring about what happened to that man. I was just like, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
y'all a day late and a dollar short, but finally, because I just think I only care about Austin because of Roger Howard, not because of
Yeah, of
actually
course.
caring about I'm just thinking Roger Howard deserved better. But it's crazy that years later they're like,
Oh
Austin
yeah.
died. We don't even know anything about it.
Yeah. Like police wasn't solving nothing.
Nothing. They're not
Didn't even
solving
care.
any murder cases. The fact that they are investigating what's going on with this GH is like I wouldn't have any kind of confidence in this police department whatsoever.
I was so confused by Alexis. And Jake, I know that you're probably just like
Ugh.
extra annoyed at Nancy Lee.
I'm like, I don't even want to talk about her right
I didn't know what was
now.
going on because I had kind of been offline, and then I came back to see her get dragged, and I was all I could think is Tya's gonna hate this.
He pulled me out of my embargo of her. I went on threads and was like,
Oh snap!
because she made herself silent on X.
Hmm.
I had to go on threads and call her out. I was so pissed. But anyway, I was just like your old character, Alexis, you only show compassion for people that you don't like when it benefits you. Because officially, that's what she did with Jason. She goes into Jason and says, because she always hates Jason, Alexis, always clowned on his profession. And now all of a sudden, yeah, I want to kill Cyrus too, but you can't because of Danny. Like, whatever, maybe not, because I was cursing Alexis out. So I'm sorry, y'all. I can't.
Hmm.
And it's almost on. See, I don't like the character of Cody. The actor, I don't care about. He's probably a lovely man, you know. But I don't like Alexis, and I don't like her acting. That's weird. That's bad. Sorry, y'all. I
I
apologize
okay.
for
This is
fans.
obviously no. This is obviously like so unrelated to the show, but I will say that like I saw her get dragged, and I like DM'd somebody. I was like, "Don't forget what she said about Viola Davis." Turn the
Exactly.
file off on this.
She's not learned. She's like a real life Nina. Oh, anywho.
My goodness. Well, I was confused at first, but she's like, "I want to kill him myself." You need to kill him. Just kidding. Don't kill him. What are we saying? I was. I've had to watch those scenes 3 times. I could not follow. I was like, "What are we talking about here?" But that all happened. Um,
Her pulling
I
Tracy back. I wanted Willow to give that ring back.
I will hop to that TV right now myself and snatch that ring off that girl finger. What are you doing? Because let's talk about her sleeping with Drew in Michael's bed and then wondering why people are mad. Girl, what?
Like she should have even after Tracy demanded it, she should have been like, you know what?
You know you're right.
Here,
Here's your
here,
mother's ring. Why
take
are you
it.
wearing this? You telling me that you get up every day and still put that ring on your finger?
Just the gall, the unmitigated gall. It's crazy.
Unmitigated gall. Um, so let's talk a little bit about the young adults. Because speaking of Cyrus, if y'all don't like people to be, you know, put on your earmuffs for some people. When they, I was so disappointed. I can't even get my words together. I was so disappointed by Trina and Kai this week. So like obviously we know he like meets up with her, like apologizes about like being bad at her at the hospital. His little friend said whatever to her. I was fine with that. I think they have a cute vibe. I think that they don't know what to do with these young adults, so everybody is just like one thing. I think Jocelyn probably has like the most dynamic of writing right now, um, of everybody. But like Trina is like art, and Kai. Kai is football and not football. Geo is violin. Emma is saving animals. Like that's all they have. Like that. Like there's
Mm.
no other parts of their personality at this point. And the only reason Trina is likable is because we liked her carrying over to this, you know? Um, but the stuff with Cyrus, where she like explains like who Cyrus is to them, and the dude goes up and was like, "Excuse me, I'll buy your
You
drinks, but you gotta go." I'm so sorry, but I remember when Cyrus held Trina and Portia hostage. Trina was talking cash shit while he had a gun on her. So to like be here now at this point where this boy, no boy, you don't tell him nothing about me. You get behind me because Trina finna go off. That's what I want to see. She doesn't even know like football player with one arm coming to her defense. That is not what she needs. Trina comes to her own defense. I was so disappointed. I don't know. It really bothered me.
Trina had more heat for Heather in jail while she was in jail than she did for Cyrus in her face at a bar. That's crazy. That was really crazy.
Yeah. I just wasn't here for it. Like I like the fact that his like Kai's Instagram is like Kai TQB1. Enough. Enough.
I don't
That
even
was
know what
like
that is.
I
Oh,
that was his Instagram because that's how Danny found
oh yes, that's
Cyrus.
right.
Um I mm-mm. Then they had like what I felt like with Emma, what they were trying to do was like misdirect. Like it did look like she was being like whatever, and then she could say like I wasn't being that way. It didn't work. She still looked like she was being that way. It did not look like a
She
misdirect.
she looked like she has a perpetual attitude the whole time. And I just like
Hmm.
I kind of want to smack her. Like her
And like
grandma.
the whole save the animals, and that's all that's important, and that's all I'm gonna talk about, and it doesn't matter. Look, I understand that people change. Like, you know, this Emma is not gonna be like Brooklyn's Emma because she was a child.
Mm.
We didn't even get a lead up to it. Right? I think it would have been better instead of like the whole like she snuck to live with Anna and because that story doesn't make any sense. It would have been
Right.
more interesting if we would have had Anna talking to Robert on the phone, talking about how different Emma is, and then her showing up different, as opposed to us being like, "What is this?"
I think we were very much spoiled by Nicholas Chavez and his portrayal of Spencer. Because even though Nicholas Chavez was different, he was
Mhm.
still like Spencer as a kid. And
Yes, yes,
we were
that's true.
very much spoiled by that. We have
That was like the
our
writing
ex
for sure. Yeah, he was
yeah,
there was a connectivity between who Spencer was as a child, like the spoiledness. They made sure to like even talk about the snobbiness. There was a through line between Spencer as a kid and Spencer
hmm
when he came back. Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, we have very high expectations, GH writers, and you guys are falling short as
Yeah,
this
I mean,
recast.
to your point, like it would be different. I'm not saying that Emma can't be different, but there is not a
Yeah.
through line of who Emma was. And
Right.
we watched her grow up, and we had Brooklyn come back and forth over the years for like
Hmm.
little guest spots here and there.
Right.
So to not give us like, we've never heard her talk about this before. You know what I mean? Like to not give
Yeah.
her some consistency is yikes.
Yeah.
But
Right.
we did get a paternity test via eyelashes when she was talking to Gio. She's like, I could
Oh
never
yeah.
say no to you with those eyelashes. And she's like, you know what, Dante? You have nice eyelashes too.
I actually enjoyed the scene that Brooklyn, Gio, and Dante had. I was just like, look at all the parents together. I just thought that was like, like poor Chase, he's all left out. No, it wasn't even intentional. I just saw it. It was just like, oh, ain't that cute?
Mhm.
But yeah, otherwise, I think the story, Gio's gonna have a good story, or at least a story that's gonna have a lot of repercussions if they do it right. Um, but unfortunately, I'm just not that invested in Gio as a person. But the plot around him is gonna get interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have this drama of like Chillin, then you're gonna
Right.
have the drama of Dante and Lulu, because no
Hmm.
matter what, whether they're together or not, you're gonna have Lulu mad that Dante like
Right.
lied to her about ever hooking up with Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You're gonna have this drama between Chase and Dante.
Hmm.
Because something I actually was like noting as I'm like pulling back on this is that they're kind of giving, one of the things we talked about before is that they were really bad about giving Michael a friend group. The first kind of
Hmm.
friend group he ever had was like Chase, Sasha, and Willow when the four of them like had their quad.
Hmm.
And then they pulled back on that. And then Chase became Dante's friend.
Hmm.
And they're actually building that friend group around Christina because you have Christina, Lucky, now you have
Hmm.
Isaiah. Like that friend
Hmm.
group is kind of developing there. Um, so I'm interested to see like what the dynamic is. You just had Chase tell Dante something that he wasn't supposed to tell him in like the whole Cyrus murdering Sam, and he was like, "Well, I told him because that was my best friend."
Hmm. And then also you're
So,
gonna have the dynamic between the parents. You're gonna have the dynamic with Sunny and
mm-hmm,
Lois, and then Lois and
mm-hmm.
and Dante's mom. We have not
Olivia,
seen Olivia. We have not seen her in so long. I forgot her name.
mm-hmm,
Oh, that's so sad.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just going to be repercussions all around. It's going to be interesting. And
Yeah,
obviously Tracy's going to have something to do with it, even though she really doesn't have anything to do with it, but she's going to have something to do with it.
right. Well, she's definitely gonna be a part
In the
of it for
mix.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this a little bit even when it came up. I don't mind. We watch soaps. We know how things change over time. We know how things they change timelines, they alter timelines. So I was like reading this article, and it was like maybe it was Amanda talking about like people being upset about the story and like thinking something about Dante being too old and da da da. Da. I was like, I don't necessarily think people are putting all of that together. It is that we have been told something completely different about these characters, and this changes who these characters are. This
Right.
completely changes Lois as a character. We had
Hmm.
Lois like run to Sunny about Nina because she can't keep a lie, and then to find out she's been keeping this lie for 22 years from all the people around her, from Sunny, from Olivia, from all these people. That changes who Lois is as a character. It's kind of like what we talked about with like Willow and Drew. It's one thing to do something. It's quite another. Like if Lois would have helped Brooklyn put her child up for adoption and not said anything, that's very different than like having Geo in their lives for all this time. That's
Hmm.
wild.
Wild.
That like fundamentally changes like who she is because it's not one decision, it's a series of decisions that you're making. Um, so yeah, I mean, I am interested to see what the fallout is going to be if this is our story. So
Yeah.
yeah. Let me see. Do I have anything else? Oh yeah, it does feel like they are trying to push Lante like at least in each other's orbit. I thought the scene with Lulu and Christina was weird.
Dante? Oh, Lulu and
No,
Christina.
yeah,
Yes. That was weird.
I didn't get
Um,
it.
yeah. Like I don't feel like she owes Christina like yeah, I don't feel like she owes Christina anything. And like not that level of apology. She didn't do that with Alexis. She didn't, that's who she should have had that conversation with first,
Hmm.
at the very least. And so yeah, to be late to work to do that too.
Yeah, it was also like, why are you having this like serious conversation before you need to go into work? What are we doing?
Like it was queer. It was weird. Sorry. Um, the but the scene with Dante and Lulu and Dante coming to her rescue, I thought that was kind of cute.
Mm. I also was like, didn't Lulu uh work at Bobby's back in the day? Am I making that up?
I don't even remember. Maybe some reason why I feel like Maxie worked at there, but Maxie wouldn't. That wouldn't be in her. Guess maybe. In either case, they're acting like Lulu don't know how to work in a restaurant. So,
Yeah, she worked back in the day for Mike.
oh, okay. But I'm glad they
Yeah.
had fun. I heard burning some toast.
Mm. I'm trying to look and see because my notes just you know how your computer does some funky thing. I'm like, where are
Uh-huh.
my notes? Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
I probably missed something. Sorry, they were a little rusty. We just came back.
Right.
Um, do you have any hot takes?
We could talk about the news I saw this morning. John Lindstrom and Katie McCain
Oh,
going
going
on
to the
beyond the
gates.
gates.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
I don't think
exciting.
I don't think that we're gonna lose Kevin. I think that he will just do double duty like Wally Kirk does with Ned. Because we don't see
Yeah,
Kevin a lot anyway.
right. I was just like, yeah, when was the last time I seen Kevin? So yeah, I think it'll be similar part-time gigs. So
Hmm.
it'll just be exciting for them
I'll be
to
watching.
have. Yeah, I
Is
hope
exciting
GH
though.
can. I hope GH can, compete. Gonna be interesting
It feels
competition.
unlikely.
Uh,
I mean, and they're in the same time slot, and they're like building up the Avengers over there, like
right.
just just all the best writers, all the best things. Like, luckily for GH, people watch it on Hulu. That's like one of their
Yeah,
big things. But yeah, the Gates is gonna, I think, blow people out.
right. So,
All right, let's look into the week ahead. Monday, Cyrus prepares to strike again. Okay,
so who?
I don't know.
Don't
Maybe Liz, maybe Jason, maybe Danny. Lots of people. It could be
Drew.
Lucky. I don't know.
Drew.
Drew,
Drew.
Cody,
We keep
uh,
Cody.
Carly and Sunny debrief. Hopefully, he tells her about the hurt. Liz
Mhm.
and Lucky update Anna. Mac is dismayed. Willow makes an unwelcome discovery. Mm.
Don't tell me Mac is gonna only just hear about Cody's shenanigans now.
And probably hear about Sasha being pregnant by Jason.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. And I wonder what Willow's discovery is going to be. If it's going to be Nina or Sasha.
Willow's discovering something, not
Hmm.
Lulu.
Willow
Oh,
makes an unwelcome discovery.
okay.
Yeah. Tuesday. Brendan surprises Carly. Kai and Trina spend Valentine's Day together.
Oh,
Anna implores Jason. Maxie plays matchmaker. Chase makes a romantic gesture to Brooklyn. Anna this week, I didn't really talk about her because my girl, but I was like, Anna, what's going on, sis? Like, quit
I
threatening
don't know.
to arrest people. This is weird. Wednesday. Dante enlightens Lulu. The tension between Drew and Curtis grows. Willow is caught off guard. Chase makes a confession. Carly and Brennan are interrupted.
Ace makes a confession
Uh,
about what? What he got to
mm,
confess?
mm. I do wonder if, ooh, because we don't really have a lot of Joss. I do wonder if Joss is who Cyrus goes after.
Uh,
Um, Thursday. Jason makes a big decision. Laura gets shocking news. Portia and Isaiah work to save a life.
hmm
Brooklyn faces her fears. Jordan strategizes. Now, I did hear a rumor that Brooklyn is going to tell Chase soon-ish about like giving up a baby. So, and then Friday, Anna shares big news with Dante. Sasha makes a confession. Drew and Jason face off. Brennan does damage control. Lulu is stunned. So I do wonder if maybe Jocelyn gets hurt because Brennan has to do damage control.
hmm hmm
Yeah. So we shall see. We shall see.
Well, I hope Jason beats Drew down again.
Me too. Get him out of here.
All right.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you. Thank you for listening. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. If you made it to the end, we'll put the video of Jennifer Hudson up. Don't spread it too far because I thought it might get flagged. It didn't. So we will see you next week. Bye.
Mm.